Welcome back to the Banganator podcast, brought to you by your host, Esley Banga, episode 13, week 13. And how about them Cowboys? Demolishing the Colts 54-19 on Sunday Night Football. What did I tell y'all what happened? In my prediction in my last episode, I told y'all we would have their number. We would have their number. The Colts suck. And we saw that. It was a Matt Ryan retirement party. He need to go. He need to get up out the league. It's his time now. You had a chance to win the Super Bowl. You ain't gonna win it. Go away, bro. Before I continue, thank you to all my subscribers, all my followers from the Banganator podcast Instagram, and thank you so much to everybody who views my videos every week. Keep pressing that like button to push it up the algorithm. And a little update for y'all. I got my gear ready. I haven't finished setting it up, so that's why you won't hear me on the mic this episode. But very, very soon, I'm gonna have better audio, so the audio isn't so echoey all the time. But let's get to it. I was at the actual game, and that's the best game I've ever been to. The best. That was the icing on the cake, and it took the cake. The best game I've ever been to. I've been going to home Cowboys game every single season since 2016. That one was the best. We won 54-19. Dak Prescott, 20 completions out of 30 attempts, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Now, obviously, we would prefer not to have any interceptions at all, but that's a pretty good stat line. I would want more yardage, but hey, our defense got a bunch of touchdowns as well. Tony Pollard, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zeke Elliott, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Once again, our running game is good. It's stellar. If we can have above 150 yards rushing, that's a perfect recipe to succeed in the playoffs and get as far as possible in the playoffs. CeeDee Lamb, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. CeeDee Lamb acting like a dog. He got that dog in him. MG13, Michael Gallup, 23 yards, 2 touchdowns. He didn't even need all that many yards. He was mainly an end zone threat in that game with those 2 touchdowns. I saw him live and in person, and man, were they sweet. Cowboys defense. That defense, my goodness. I'm telling y'all, we made Matt Ryan look like he should just go ahead and retire. 2 fumble recoveries, 3 sacks, 3 interceptions. It just kept happening over and over and over again. Like, damn, y'all can't do anything without turning the ball over? And the main defensive playmakers were players that we don't even hear often all the time. Darren Bland, Malik Hooker, Anthony Barr, Osa Odigizua. We usually don't hear their names, but we did today. Everybody was showing out. All in all, I know it's the Colts. I know it's the lowly Colts. They suck, but we can only play who's in front of us. So we took care of business. We showed that we can score. Our defense already been showing that they can be up here. And now our offense on 3 occasions now has shown that they can be up here, matching the defense. And that's what we got to have. December is the time to play your best football going into the playoffs. No better time. A look ahead to the Texans matchup. Cowboys versus Texans, 12 o'clock, noon on Fox, Central Time. And ain't nothing to say about the Texans. They're 1-10-1. 10 losses, but a tie as well. So we're going to win that game. I already know we're going to win that game. We've shown that we can play up to par with any team. So we're going to win that game. Texans have not been the same since Deshaun Watson left, since J.J. Watt left, and since DeAndre Hopkins left. So we're going to win that game. There ain't nothing to say about it. Nothing more to say. No more details to go into. We're going to win. And now it's time for my top 4 favorite things from week 13 in football terms. So on first down, my first favorite thing from week 13 in the NFL was the Dallas Cowboys offense. They were like this, just operating on all cylinders. Their stats are right here. Stats don't lie. The numbers don't lie. 385 total yards, 7 offensive touchdowns. And we know how great the defense was, but 7 offensive touchdowns. That's amazing. If we keep playing like that, we can make it far into the playoffs. I believe it. And on second down, my second favorite thing from week 13 is the Cowboys defense. They keep showing that they can keep showing up over and over and over again. It's been an ongoing thing this whole entire season, and I'm glad that we finally have a great defense. 3 sacks, 5 turnovers. You can't get any better than that. 3 sacks, 5 turnovers. I'm almost speechless looking at these stats. So we're playing our best football in December. Defense is doing what it's supposed to do, and we all know that defense wins championships. So if you can keep this up, we're going to go far into the playoffs. On third down, my third favorite thing from week 13 is Joe Burrow against the Chiefs. He got the dub. He and the Bengals got the dub against the Chiefs 27-24. Not only is he a great game manager, but he's also great at making plays. He's a playmaker. His stats: 25 completions out of 31 attempts, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joe Burrow is a dog. He got that dog in him. Second time that he's beat the Chiefs now. Last time being in the playoffs. So Joe Burrow, keep doing your thing. I'm so glad I got you on my fantasy. He got me 30 points. And my fourth favorite thing from week 13 is the Cowboys red stripe helmet. They wear it it's a throwback to the 1976 helmet. At the time, they wore it to celebrate America's bicentennial. That red stripe on there somehow goes well with the other colors. It looks badass. I love it. So it's official. Texas Longhorns are bowl eligible. We're going to be playing in the Alamo Bowl against the Washington Huskies. I believe that we should win that game. Just based on who's playing. Hopefully, significant players haven't opted out. But I think it's going to be a good game, and we're going to win. I believe so. And in other news, backup quarterback Hudson Card, he entered the transfer portal. He sees the future. Arch Manning has committed to Texas. He's going to be here competing for the starting job. With Quinn Ewers, we already see how well he plays. So it makes sense for Hudson Card. I wish him luck. Let's talk fantasy football. Y'all won't believe it, but I got my 5th straight win in fantasy football, and now I'm in first place. Could y'all imagine that? I started near the bottom of our league, 0-3, and now I'm in first place out of 12 people. That is so crazy. I never gave up. And we only have one more week until the playoffs. So next week is the last regular season week, and then after that, playoffs. So I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I'm so elated right now. And I feel like with the bye week, I have a better chance of actually winning the whole thing. So my biggest playmakers in fantasy football were Joe Burrow. He got me 30 points with those 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb got me 20 points. We know that he got a touchdown himself. Let's see. Tony Pollard, 24 points. He had two rushing touchdowns, 91 rushing yards, and 2 receptions. Samaje Perine. Joe Mixon was out yet again, so Samaje Perine had to take his place in the Bengals lineup. And again, he delivered for the 3rd week in a row. So I'm glad I picked him up and I have him. And last but not least, the next biggest playmaker, Devontae Smith. He had 102 receiving yards, 1 touchdown, and all off of 5 receptions. So that's good. He's doing his thing with Philly, and I'm glad that he's producing for me in fantasy. I'm going to briefly talk about Team USA, the U.S. men's national soccer team. They lost 3-1 against the Netherlands. It's kind of disappointing. I didn't expect them to get far into the tourney with other strong countries like France Argentina, Brazil, but it was disappointing. They already underperformed in the group stage, and then to not even win one knockout stage match, it's heavily disappointing. The hype was up here for Team USA, and they didn't deliver. So we'll try again in 4 years. But hey, as of right now, the women's national team, that's where they at. The men got to follow that up. Hey, they got, in 2019, the women won the whole thing. So men, step it up. I appreciate y'all for watching this episode of the Banganator podcast. Keep tuning in, keep liking, keep watching, keep subscribing so I can keep bringing y'all more content. Let's get this dub against the Texans on Sunday. Go Cowboys.
The Banganator podcast is brought to you by Esley Banga, diehard fan of the Dallas Cowboys since 1997. How about them Cowboys?